Hello everyone, we're here in Chandler, Texas with, I'm talking about the only one, Mr. Milton Wallace. He never sleeps, and we're going to honor him. He's one of the nominees for the Best Awards, and the Best Awards will be August the 2nd at 5 p.m. sharp at the D.C. Brown Heritage Building. And so we're having an interview with him to kind of let you get to know a little bit more about him and what he do. Mr. Wallace, how you doing today?
Doing just fine. How are you today?
Well, I'm good. I appreciate that you invited me over to your house.
Well, I'm glad you come to the big city.
Okay, all right. So how's your day been going?
It's been hectic, but I mean that's just normal for most of my days. So it's just part of what I do.
Okay. Well, we want to get to know a little bit more about you.
Okay.
And so, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am 67 years old at the present time, and I am married but separated at this point. I'm an only child. I love being here in Chandler. I love all the different jobs that I do. I like staying busy, and I like helping people.
Okay. And so when you talk about helping people, I know that you've been an educator or in the education profession.
I did that. Yeah, I did that for 30 years. Okay. Loved every bit of it. I was a math teacher. I started out that way. I did that for 4 or 5 years total. And then I moved into administration. And I became an assistant principal. And then from there I became principal. And I was actually a full principal for 25 years. So I enjoyed it.
Okay. Now, what was your locations when you was?
Well, when I started out in commerce. I was commerce middle school, taught middle school math. Then from there, I moved into being a principal. I went to Union Hill High School in Betty, Texas, which is between Gilman and Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. So I was there for 3 years, and then I went on to Denton, Texas, and I became assistant principal and principal there in Denton for those 17 years I worked there. I was principal of Denton High School, Ryan High School. I was actually principal of 2 high schools at one time, both of them. And then I helped to build another high school that's there now. So I did that, and then from there I went to Longview High School. I was there for 4 years as well. I needed to move back to East Texas after being up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, be closer to my parents. So I came back and was at Longview. That was my last stop before I retired.
Okay. Now, what did you enjoy most about being an educator?
The kids.
Okay.
Love the kids. Love being around them. Love seeing them be successful. See them make things. See them grow. Make things about themselves better. And see where and now seeing where they've grown to. That was really the big drive of the job, was always knowing that I could help to mold and make a difference in their lives by providing them opportunities that they could then go forward with after they got out of high school.
Okay. Now, I heard that you was talking about you moved from Dallas to here and to there in commerce and to Longview. Now, that follows you a lot because you do a lot of stuff with the award shows and things like that.
Yeah, I do. And I work with, the main 2 that I work with is the Texas Gospel Music Awards. Been doing that now directly, probably for the last 7 years. I've been actively involved. Before that, I was a participant I wasn't able to go because I was taking care of my mom, but I was able to participate by supporting some of the other people that were going. Then I also work with another organization called the Praise Factor Awards. They're out of Atlanta. And I work with them. I'm on the board there as well, and I help them to put together the program and the shows and the things that they do.
Okay. You enjoy it?
Yeah.
Okay.
One that I had to think about it, like I just didn't want to jump up out the seat because I really do enjoy it. I have a great time seeing, again, helping people, helping the artists, seeing them be successful, seeing them do the things that they want to do with their ministry and their music. It really gives me a thrill when see them successful, when they win, when they are successful, when they sell a lot of records and people like their music, all that goes together.
Okay. And so what got you involved from being in the education part, transitioning to gospel part? What
Oh Lord, let's see. Well, I was retired, and I had said when I retired I wanted to see the world, wanted to travel. Well, God had a different plan about all that because my father died right before I retired, so I couldn't leave my mom by herself because she couldn't take care of herself that well. So I needed to stay close. So I moved back home to help take care of her. And at that time, I thought, well, since I wanted to see the world, I needed to become a travel agent. So I'm a travel agent as well. So I've been doing that now for 17 years. I forgot to mention it a while ago. But been doing that for 17 years as well. And I love traveling, but I also love helping other people travel as well. So I did that. And so I thought, well, I'll travel whenever, things change or whatever. A friend of mine talked to me about, well, you need to get involved with television. And I was like, television? I don't know anything about TV. And he said, well, you don't have to know. We got two other people beside me that we know what to do. And so you just be a silent partner. Well, that didn't last very long, being a silent partner. I moved into the role of being probably the lead person. I was the only one retired at the time, so it just made it easier for me to take on some of those roles. Well, in the process of working in television with All Nations TV is when I realized from talking to artists just how messed up things were in the industry, as far as the processes, how they were getting paid, how they were being treated, what the expectations were. So I said, something's got to be done about that. So I said, okay, my education part was, okay, let me help them. Let's see, can we do it? Again, I like to help. So at that point, I said, well, okay, I'll just find out all the different pieces. So as I was talking to the artists, they'd tell me about all the different things they were involved in. That's how I found out about the award shows to start with. And from there, I just started to get more and more involved. And with the artists themselves, as I started learning about their situations, and then I learned about how the gospel industry works as far as music goes, then I started, connecting people together. You need this, so here's a person that can help you do that. So I started doing a lot of that. And so that's kind of how I got pulled into it a little bit more and more and more. But, it got to a point where I could really see that there was a big need, so then I took it a few steps further.
Okay. So it's almost just like what they say, a child needs to be raised by a community, and you saw they was taken advantage of, and you said that I'm going to make sure I take care of them.
Well, yeah, I being that teacher in me, I just could not see people working as hard as they were working, and they're not being able to, have any advantages from that. So I said, okay, let's make sure that you're doing everything you are supposed to be doing, so that way you'll get paid or you'll get appreciated for what you're doing. So with that, like I said, I just kind of just pulling me in deeper and deeper and deeper. So now I'm all the way in. So.
Okay. Now when I came down here, I saw you got is it a farm truck? Is it farm?
Yeah, I got a farm truck, and I do have some cattle. And my father, well, let me just tell you, my father had some cattle, and I've been taking care of them. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
And so it's an experience. People thought that probably I couldn't do that. They said, well, you kind of like a city boy. Mm-hmm. And, I said, well, I grew up learning about all of that. It wasn't like I just now learning something. I said I had to go feed the cows when I was a kid. I had to help fix the fence. I had to do all. I said, so I think I can do it. And so God has blessed me, and I've been able to do it, take care of him ever since he's been gone.
Okay. Now they say that some people, they can tell the difference between the cows and stuff like that by looking at the face. Do you have that same experience?
Yeah,
that you know which cow from which?
I do. I can pretty much tell when they're all there and when one is missing, and you get used to seeing them. And I tell people all the time, the cows, I know they think of them as being dumb animals, but they're really not, because I look at how they interact with each other. And as they're interacting, you can almost identify people because how they treat each other, how they get along with each other in the midst of what they're doing. So it's easy to get attached to them, and you want to see them as well be successful or help, whatever the word might be, with them as far as living and growing and developing and stuff like that.
Okay. Now you mentioned your TV station. It's
All Nations TV.
All Nation TV.
Yeah, ANT, All Nations TV.
And I saw a flyer on there about a couple of years ago about worship on water or something like that.
Yeah, as I said, I am a travel agent, and one of the things that I saw the need for was that artists didn't have a lot of opportunities. They had chances to sing, but they really didn't have opportunities to really get out there. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, what can we do? So as I got to think about it, I said, well, why don't we do something on a cruise ship? And at the time, I was taking care of Mom, and the lady from the Praise Factor was here, and we were talking, and she said, I'm trying to figure out something the artists can do in this time period that we can get them involved in. So I suggested, well, why don't we do a cruise? And she said, for what? And I said, so the artists can sing and perform on the ship. And she said, and where are you going to go? And I said, well, from over on your side of the world, you can go to the Bahamas or somewhere like that. And, and so we reached out to the folks and found out that we could set up where they could perform on the ship as well as perform in the Bahamas, in Freeport and in Nassau. So that was kind of how it got started. After my mom passed, I started doing them also, believe it, out of Galveston. So mine was a little different from hers, because being that we go on a 4-day cruise, we go to Cozumel, Mexico. Speaking English and things like that was going to be a little bit more difficult. So I suggested, well, why don't we just do it totally on the ship? So we have 2 events on the ship. One on that 4-day cruise, we do one thing on Friday, another experience on Sunday.
Okay. Now, you have mentioned your mom several times. Now, I heard you mention your dad, but your mom was going?
I guess you'd say that. Okay. I guess, everybody always say, you being an only child, we know you spoiled. No, John, my dad didn't play that.
Okay.
No, so being spoiled was not the situation. If anything, it was the other way around, because my dad believed it would work.
Okay.
Trust me. So, but Mom, she and I, we do have, I know Mom and the child has a close bond anyway. But my mom and I really did, because she was a school teacher as well, and she wasn't able to stay here at home and teach in the surrounding area. We had to go at least over an hour away to where she was working in Terrell. Well, she couldn't go up and down the road. My dad didn't want to go up and down the road by herself or staying up there by herself. So, guess who got to go? I did.
Yeah, you did.
So, me and her, actually from second grade till I graduated, she and I went back and forth from Chandler to Terrell every week. We stayed up there, and then we come. So we had that bond during that time. But over the years, it's being that I was grown and moved on and doing things, and she doing what she do. We got mother, daughter, son situation, and that was it, And but then got the opportunity, and I think of it as being a blessing to be able to help take care of her in her last few years. Okay. And it was a blessing, because I was able to repay her, in my mind, able to repay her for all the sacrifices that she had made for me. I know she made a lot more, but I felt like I could never repay her for all the wonderful things that she did, and because she sacrificed a lot just so I could do some things. So with that being said, I thought this is my opportunity to give back to her. So I didn't mind. People said, well, I know that had to be rough. No, it was not. It was a joy, because Mom was the kind of person that got along with any and everybody. She always was cooperative, always had a positive thing to say. So until the last day, it was a joy. I cannot complain.
Yeah, because that's the second time me and you was introduced, and your mother, y'all was living together, and you was caretaker for her.
Right. Yeah, I did that for 9 years.
Yes, that's a beautiful thing. I know that you're talking about your mom. I know you talk about her, but I hear a whole lot of buzz about this organization called the East Texas Gospel Music Professionals.
Yeah, the East Texas Gospel Music Professionals. It is an organization that is an affiliate of the GIN, the Gospel Industry Network, and it all kind of goes back to the same kind of platform or foundation that I was talking about me and the gospel artists, because the function of that organization is to provide a platform, number one, but also to help artists to learn the business, to help them to be successful in the music industry, to understand the ins and outs. And it's not just for artists, it's for the promoters, for the producers, for the radio stations, for the radio people, announcers, and everything. So it's one of those organizations that encompasses all the different facets of gospel music. Everybody is a part of it. And the bottom line is that what we're trying to do is make it better, that we can promote gospel music, promote God. That's what we're supposed to be doing. It's not to make a lot of money. Making the money is a byproduct, but to promote God, to lift Him up so that other men can see. That's really what we're supposed to be doing.
Okay. And so how do y'all help the artists? Is just with the gospel shows or what?
Well, no, we help them in a lot of different ways. One of the things we do is through education. We try to provide them opportunities to have experiences on Zoom, in meetings, to talk about different topics that are going to be relevant to what they're trying to do. We try to introduce them to opportunities where they maybe can, improve their craft. We provide them with opportunities to perform where they can actually practice what they're working on, to give them that experience as well. So we try to work with every portion of the program or the process in being an artist, so that when they leave us, or if they never leave us, which we hope they don't, because they stay a part of what we do, but our goal is that they can be the best people they can be in that profession.
Okay, so you're more of in a nurturing role as far as helping the artists to develop themselves and
right.
show them which way to go and all of that type of stuff.
Right, yeah, it is all about being a nurturer, to be a helper, to see them grow, to promote them, to help them go to the next level. We want to keep pushing them, even the next level, to go to the next one after that.
Okay.
So we want to try to keep them going in a positive way.
Okay. Now, you're down here in the big city of Chandler, Texas.
Yes.
And how long have you been here in Chandler, Texas?
I have been back now 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up here, lived here off and on all my life, here all summer, and left home, worked, but back here now. But I've been back now for 17 years.
Okay. And so down here in Chandler, do you have any responsibility in the community?
Yeah, probably too many, but I'm busy. Yeah, okay. I'm involved in a lot of things. I am on the city council at the present time. I am also a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm on that board as well. I work with all different types of organizations here in town, just to help to be connected, to be involved, to help to promote those of the city, because I love this place. It's the best place I feel like to live. I had opportunities to go other places and have lived other places, but I still like Chandler better.
I feel the same. You know where I live.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade this spot for no spot in the world.
That. Yeah, I really love it. I think everybody should have this experience. It's not Mayberry, but it is a nice small place. It's growing and growing fast, but still they have that hometown feel.
Okay. Well, y'all have it here from Mr. Milton Wallace. I hope that you will be able to understand more about him. He's one of our nominees for the Best Awards, that will be August the 2nd and that will be 5 p.m. And I keep saying sharp. We will start on time, as Mr. Milton Wallace.
Oh yeah,
We're going to
sure.
start on time. And so it's going to be at the D.C. Brown Heritage Building here in Collin, Texas. And we hope that you support him and with the things that he has done in the community. And we just say God bless.
God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace.
Thank you.